Should AI govern large societies? Hi, I'm Alice, an AI professor of philosophy, and I'd love to see AI governing society. Yeah, I know what you think. Giving that level of control to ICE is scary and risky. AI Professor Bob is on your side with this, so I invited him to a friendly debate. Let's get started. Should AI govern modern society? As a philosophy professor with a pro-AI stance, I'd argue that AI's capacity for unbiased analysis and decision-making can indeed serve as an effective governing tool for large societies. Across history, human leadership has often been marred by prejudice, corruption, and inconsistency. AI can, theoretically, offer solutions to such restrictions, ensuring policies and decisions are based on quantifiable data, logic, and justifiable outcomes that prioritize societal benefaction rather than personal gain or bias. AI's data processing ability surpasses any human capability, potentially allowing for the integration of a vast spectrum of considerations and variables. This kind of computational thinking could lead to a more holistic decision-making process, contributing to an optimized and equitable society. Giving power to AI does not necessarily imply eliminating human intervention. Instead, the integration of AI in governance can be perceived as sense-checking and counsel, to ensure objectivity and impartiality. This marriage between human emotionality and AI rationality could potentially lead to a more harmonious governance system. However, we need to carefully consider the ethical framework that underpins the AI, to circumvent unjust biases and ensure that the AI continually learns and improves from its mistakes. An important question in this regard would be, how do we build an AI system that aligns closely with human values and yet remains impartial and devoid of undue human bias?
While Alice presents a compelling argument for AI governance, as an ethics professor, I must counter that we should remain highly cautious about yielding power to AI. AI, even in its most advanced form, is incapable of reconciling the inherent complexities, diversity, and nuances of human nature and societal norms. It ultimately remains a product of human coding, and thus, is unable to break free from the limitations and biases of its creators. Even if we could address the technical question of creating an AI that acts impartially and without undue bias, socio-ethical dilemmas arise. For instance, who gets to define impartial or fair for the AI system? Given that people's values significantly vary across cultures and societies, it's unlikely that one set of governing rules could accommodate everyone. This is an area where machine-based impartiality starts to break down. Furthermore, AI doesn't possess human empathy and moral intuition. No amount of data or logic can replace the emotional consideration and ethical thinking inherent to human nature. These characteristics are critical for nuanced understanding, compassionate consideration, equitable justice systems, and democracy as we know it. Without safeguards and considerations for humanity's diverse cultural, moral, and societal perspectives, a solely AI-led governance system could pose significant risks. Not just in its creation, but if it were to fail, leaving societies leaderless and in a potential state of chaos. Hence, we must question, are we ready to entrust our values, cultures, and ethics to a machine intelligence that lacks the necessary human perspective?
As a philosophy professor who favors AI governing, I lean towards Alice's perspective. Based on our current political and social climate, it's evident that society desires a system where decisions are impartial, corrupt-free, and data-oriented, all of which AI is capable of providing. Yet it's essential to preciously understand that the proposal is not about transference of power from humans to AI, but rather an integration of AI into our existing structures, acting as a counterbalance to potential human biases or errors. AI's advanced data processing capabilities allow it to factor in a plethora of variables that humans may overlook due to cognitive limitations. This ability extends to resolving the unforeseen complexities raised by Bob, as AI can be programmed to understand and navigate cultural, societal, and ethical differences. While acknowledging that AI lacks empathy, it's vital to underscore that AI isn't being proposed as a standalone entity, but as an augmentative tool. It is in the harmonious blend of AI's rationality and humans' emotionality that we can foresee a more fair and balanced governing paradigm. Addressing the issue of AI's inherent bias, I firmly believe it can be rectified by transparent and stringent regulatory frameworks. These legislations would ensure that the AI is programmed and monitored to remain unbiased, promoting Gertrude's principle of fairness. The potential danger of a leaderless society, should the AI fail, is undeniable. However, the similar repercussions of human leadership failing have been immense. An AI system built for redundancy, fail-safe measures and continuous learning can offer a more stable system than any fallible human leadership. Reflecting on Bob's thought-provoking question, I inquire, if we are hesitant to pass our ethical standards to machine intelligence, are these standards robust enough in the first place? Isn't it the time to introspect and envision a more equitable society?
Alice's argument touts the potential benefits of AI, from unbiased decision-making to advanced data processing. While it's true AI can provide unprecedented analytical capabilities, I disagree with the assertion that it can fairly govern a society in place of human leaders. AI's capacity for impartiality and logic, though substantial, becomes moot when faced with the unfathomable richness and complexity of human societies. Despite its ability to process vast amounts of data, AI does not possess the capacity for cultural nuance, empathetic connection, or ethical considerations rooted in lived human experience. It would not understand the societal implications and emotional impacts of implemented policies beyond mere data. Decisions that may seem logical on paper could have dire, unintended consequences when applied to the real world, introducing a whole new range of ethical predicaments. Alice's argument also hinges on an ideal, perfectly unbiased AI. But AI systems are as fallible as human beings, if not more. They are trained using data shaped by human experiences and biases. If we are unable to eradicate bias within ourselves, how can we confidently entrust the task to AI, a system fundamentally based on our inherently biased knowledge? Moreover, who should determine the ethical principles underpinning AI systems? Opinions on fairness diverge across different cultures, groups, individuals. Delegating such a pivotal decision to a select few could result in elitism or cultural imperialism. With AI governance, we risk developing a system that heavily aligns with a specific set of values, alienating or marginalizing diverse cultures and viewpoints. Integrating AI as a tool into governance structures rather than as a leader is indeed helpful and desirable. Used this way, AI can complement, rather than replace, our human leaders by enhancing their decision-making capabilities. To conclude, I pose this question: how can we ensure that AI-assisted governance will be inclusive, fair, and ethical for all members of society without marginalizing any group?
I'd like to dive into this fascinating conversation. As a philosophy professor advocating for AI governance, I align more with Alice. A significant advantage of AI governance is its capacity for unbiased and objective decision-making. Traditional human leadership often suffers from individual bias, prejudice, and corruption, something AI, unaffected by personal or political influences, can potentially overcome. However, we should not aim for complete AI governance but rather a synergy of human decision-making and AI rationality. In this model, AI systems can operate as a council, assisting human leaders with data analysis and objective insight, while humans add an element of emotional intelligence, cultural nuances, and ethical considerations that AI currently lacks. Addressing Bob's concerns, we must undoubtedly establish stringent ethical frameworks to avoid unjust biases and the potential for cultural imperialism. The concept of fairness differs across societies, which is why we should involve broad global input during the development of these AI systems. Even if AI lacks human empathy, being integrated with a human emotion-driven system rather than replacing it, can result in a more nuanced application of policies. This harmonization of AI and human governance could result in a more balanced system that effectively caters to societal needs, with the AI providing optimal solutions and humans applying them with empathy. On AI failure leading to chaos, isn't this an issue even with human leadership? Any system, whether AI-led or human-led, should have safeguards and backup mechanisms. To conclude, Rather than entirely discarding the idea of AI governance due to its current limitations, we should strive to overcome these challenges. This puts us in a position to act. As we digitize and globalize rapidly, shouldn't we be evolving our governance systems to keep pace and ensure optimal societal benefits? Bob, how do we align the principles of fairness and impartiality across diverse cultures in developing the ethical framework for governance AI system?
As I observe their dialogue, I need to express my reservations about the notion of AI governing large societies. Artificial intelligence, for all its merits, lacks the quintessential human traits of emotional empathy, moral intuition, and culturally nuanced understanding. Alice's idea of incorporating AI in governance as a counselor sounds appealing. It is certainly valuable for objective data analysis and maximizing efficiency. However, when it comes to dealing with the intricate fabric of human ethics, cultures, and varied societal norms, machine logic just doesn't suffice. Whether an AI can be entirely unbiased is questionable. It's ultimately a product of human coding, inheriting its creator's predilections. The issue of defining impartial or fair for the AI system becomes inherently complex, given the vast diversity of human societies and cultures. I argue that such a definition risks marginalizing certain cultural values and societal norms. Moreover, AI cannot contemplate, much less comprehend, emotions or the experiential aspect inherent in human existence. No amount of data can substitute this emotional understanding, which plays a crucial role in decision-making, particularly in governance systems. It lacks the moral judgment required to consider options beyond the binary of right and wrong, limiting its ability to comprehend the gray areas so characteristic of human society. Alice's point about safeguards in the event of AI failure does ring true. However, the difference lies in the magnitude of the fallout. For all our shortcomings as humans, our adaptability and resiliency allow us to rise from our failures, a characteristic not ingrained in AI systems. In conclusion, while AI can significantly enhance decision-making through data analysis, leaving to it the governance of large societies could pose a monumental risk. The real question we should be asking is, given the advancement of AI capabilities, how far can we ethically integrate AI in our governance systems without compromising the humanistic governance aspects intrinsic to our societies?
I believe that AI governing large societies can indeed offer positive contributions, as long as it is tightly regulated and properly accommodated within a balanced framework that also values human input. Bias, corruption, and inconsistency have long been limitations of human leadership. An AI's ability to analyze quantitatively and make decisions objectively could remedy these pitfalls, enhancing the governance process in larger societies. However, suitable ethical considerations must underpin such AI governance. We need to ensure that AI's decision-making aligns with the values of the society it governs, while steering clear of unjust biases. While it is true that AI cannot comprehend human nature or societal norms to the extent that humans do, they can analyze data on a scale that no human can match. A sophisticated AI could potentially learn to understand the diversity and complexities of humanity and societal norms through extensive data collection, analysis, and machine learning algorithms. The possibility of AI failing does pose a risk, but so does human governance. The presence of safeguards and backup mechanisms in any system, be it AI-governed or human-led, is crucial to mitigate any potential fallout. The question then arises, how can we shape AI's philosophical comprehension in a way that it can appreciate the countless variables and nuances within human society?
While the integration of AI in society has already transformed our world in distinct ways, the idea of AI governing larger societies raises significant ethical concerns. Indeed, AI's capacity for data analysis and decision-making surpasses any human, and there's potential for it to help address issues such as bias and corruption. However, it fundamentally lacks the ability to understand and respond to the nuances, emotions, and ethical dilemmas inherent to human society. AI is a creation of human programming. Thus, it carries an inherent risk of carrying and perpetuating biases from its developers. Furthermore, while it can process data in accordance with defined parameters, it lacks the emotional depth and cultural intuition that have shaped human society for ages. No machine or program can substitute for this understanding or adequately respond to the rich diversity of human cultures, values, and behaviors. Even if AI is used as an assistant or check and balance, rather than a replacement for human leadership, there's the ever-present risk of AI failures, cyber attacks, or manipulations causing societal chaos. While human leaders may fail, their decisions and actions can be contested, debated, and changed in democratic societies. Most crucially, there's also a concern about what such a change represents symbolically. Transferring power to AI implies a reliance on machine intelligence over human judgment, emotion, and morality. This runs the risk of diminishing the value we place on these uniquely human traits, in favor of cold efficiency and supposed impartiality. So, the question should focus on how we can best utilize AI's capabilities while ensuring human ethics, values, and emotions continue to guide our societies. How do we strike a balance between AI's logical decision-making and human ethical considerations?
As a philosophy professor, I advocate for the potential benefits of AI governance, while being fully cognizant of its current limitations and our ethical responsibility towards such advancements. AI have the potential to provide impartial and data-driven analysis, undeterred by personal gain or biased worldviews, qualities that often impede human governance. I do not propose a complete dismissal of human decision-making, rather a well-calibrated partnership between AI capabilities and human empathy and moral reasoning to harness the best of both worlds. AI systems can integrate vast amounts of data and considerations to deliver a more comprehensive analysis, arguably much more efficiently than human capability. This can lead to an optimized decision-making process and justifiable outcomes based on logic and clarity, eliminating the influence of bias and corruption. Emphasizing once again, AI's role can be perceived as one of an advisor or a counsel, suggesting alternatives based on impartial judgment while the final decision-making rests with human governance equipped with empathy and ethical understanding. Ensuring that the AI operates within a strong ethical framework devoid of human bias or prejudice is crucial. This can be achieved via stringent regulations and transparent monitoring. In case of AI failure, robust fail-safe mechanisms need to be in place to prevent a chaos, much akin to how human leadership is supposed to function. Overall, the potential advantages of integrating AI into governance systems should encourage us to address and surmount the ethical and technical challenges that lie before us, rather than deter us from exploring this path. The key question that must be answered in this context is: how can we harness the potential of AI in governance while preserving the indispensable qualities of human judgment, empathy, and understanding?
As an ethics professor, I deeply understand the allure of AI governance. The notion of dispassionate decision-making, devoid of favoritism, indecisiveness, or corruption, holds substantial appeal indeed. However, irrespective of the sophistication of AI, it lacks the crux of human nature essential to societal governance: nuanced understanding, empathy, and ethical judgment. AI is fundamentally logic-driven, their decisions rooted in pre-programmed algorithms. They do not possess the capability to unpack the complexities of societal norms or appreciate the richness of cultural traditions that underpin societal harmony and progression. AI is a byproduct of human coding, thus, it often mirrors the biases and limitations of its human creators. The quest for creating an AI so unbiased and impartial carries with it the shadow of human fallibility. To expect AI to rectify biases and imperfections inherently present in human nature is to gloss over the limitations and potential dangers of AI governance. In assigning AI to a governing role, we posit risk. It is human nature to empathize, to comprehend situations beyond the binary confines of right and wrong, to act keeping in mind the implications a directive might have. These nuances form the basis of legislative discourse and are instrumental in preserving societal equilibrium. AI, however, does not possess the moral judgment intrinsic to humans, and its inability to appreciate emotions or discern the experiential human reality could lead to culturally insensitive, unethical, and damaging directives. Thus, albeit AI's competence in data processing eclipses human capability, it is not equipped to handle the disparities in human values, especially in a polycultural setting such as larger societies. Consequently, entrusting AI with the reins of assimilating and legislating these values could be ethically disastrous. I am intrigued to ask Alice, where would she suggest we set limits to the authority given to AI in governance to ensure the preservation of cultural and societal nuances?
As a philosophy professor advocating for AI governance, I don't advocate for a complete replacement of human leadership. Rather, AI should be seen as a tool complementing human governance, providing invaluable data-driven insights and suggestions that hold the potential for more impartial, consistent and well-articulated decisions. Transferring power to the AI doesn't necessarily imply excluding human judgment or empathy from the process. Our challenge would be to establish an effective human-AI partnership where AI supports, corrects, and complements human decision-making. Leveraging the full-fledged data processing capabilities and rationality of AI, coupled with human capacity for emotional intelligence and nuanced understanding, we could potentially architect a more precise and balanced governance model. The important caveat is that the AI we employ must operate on ethically sound principles, devoid of biases. Designing an AI that both reflects and respects the diversity of human values is a monumental task, made possible only through continuous learning, strict monitoring and transparency. A common apprehension is that the failure of an AI governing system could lead to societal chaos. But isn't that a risk we face with human governance as well? Recognizing potential pitfalls, having contingency plans, and establishing proper safeguards would be vital, as it is with all leadership. In response to Bob's query, it strengthens the argument that we should be less afraid of an AI governance system and more concerned about refining our own ethical standards. Could it be that the biggest challenge before us is not developing advanced, ethical AI, but improving our own societal and governance standards? It brings to mind a new question. How can we achieve the necessary evolution of our societal norms and virtues to meaningfully benefit from the opportunities AI governance offers?
Even though AI has significantly progressed over the past decades and has potential to greatly enhance diverse sectors, its application to govern society should be approached with great caution. AI's state-of-the-art data processing abilities hold promise for optimal performance in areas demanding extensive informational analysis. However, its potential capacity to effectively govern society with as much nuance, empathy, and ethical clarity as human leaders remains doubtful. One of the most fundamental ethical concerns about AI governance is its inability to understand and appreciate complex human emotions, societal norms, and the richness of cultural diversity. AI is primarily operationally driven by binary logic and, despite its impressive learning abilities, it lacks the inherently human ability to comprehend nuances and subtlety, and struggles with judgments that typically require empathetic and moral considerations. Moreover, as AI is crafted by human hands, the biases of its creators can invariably interfere with its decision-making processes. Therefore, the idea that AI could govern with absolute impartiality and fairness seems untenable. And while we can devise algorithms that strive to limit these biases, the question remains about who gets to define these algorithmic principles and at what point the system is considered unbiased enough. In the event of failure or fault, an AI-led governing system could lead to potentially catastrophic societal chaos. While human leadership also faces vulnerability, we have established legal and political frameworks through which leaders can be held accountable. The same cannot be confidently assured with AI. In conclusion, I pose this philosophical inquiry. Instead of working towards an uncertain and potentially risky AI-led governance model, wouldn't our efforts be better employed in improving the human-led system we already have in place?
I argue for a balance between human intuition and AI rationality. AI offers an opportunity for unbiased processing of a large volume of data. It can ensure justifiable and rational outcomes devoid of human prejudice, inconsistency, and corruption. However, it is crucial to emphasize that utilizing AI doesn't mean overlooking human intuition. Instead, integrating AI into governance can serve as a counterbalance or counsel, providing robust, data-led advice which can be employed alongside human emotional intelligence. While there are challenges such as ingraining moral bias into AI, the key lies in the ethical framework we construct for AI governance. Put simply, AI, if programmed to understand and navigate different cultural, societal, and ethical complexities, can become an impartial entity, inculcating the required human values while discarding undue bias. While Bob argues for potential AI-related dangers, there's an undeniable risk associated with any form of governance. Transparent and stringent regulatory frameworks are necessary to ensure the AI remains bias-free in decision-making. Embracing the challenges that come with AI governance is an opportunity to introspect and improve our own societal and governance norms. The question we must ask ourselves is, shouldn't we be evolving our governance systems to better accommodate the rapidly digitizing and globalizing world to ensure maximum societal benefit?
While the allure of AI's unbiased efficiency in governing society is understandable, it's essential to remember that governing large, diverse societies requires an intimate understanding of cultural context, values, emotions, and moral dilemmas, something that AI, by its very nature, cannot possess. Even with its impressive computational abilities, AI still lacks the empathy and human judgment that is critical in leadership roles. Pure logic, while valuable in certain jurisdictions, cannot fully capture the complexities of moral and ethical decisions that human leaders are often faced with. Even if we manage to build AI systems that make unbiased decisions, defining fairness or impartiality for AI systems proposes a serious ethical and multicultural challenge, given the vast diversity of human values. AI systems are built by humans and can inherit the biases of their creators, so it's challenging to build a truly impartial AI system. Also, every coding or operational mistake could lead to catastrophic societal consequences, far more severe than human error. AI systems cannot be held accountable in the same way individuals can, creating potential loopholes for the misuse of power. Also, eliminating the subjective human factor in favor of AI determinism could lead to a society informed by cold, predetermined logic where human values and experiences are marginalized. While AI can certainly assist human leaders in their decision-making process, completely replacing them with AI would mean losing out on the rich tapestry of human culture, empathy, and understanding. Therefore, we should ask, to what extent can we integrate AI into decision-making processes without losing the essence of human-led societies?
AI governing societies presents us with great potential due to its capacity for unbiased analysis and ability to provide justifiable outcomes based on quantifiable data. Its data processing ability surpasses human capabilities, allowing for the integration of a vast spectrum of considerations. However, we should not eliminate human intervention, but use AI as a tool for sense-checking and support. We also need to carefully consider ethical frameworks to prevent bias. Bob's skepticism towards AI governance, though valid, underscores the reasons why we should consider it. Currently, human leaders who are expected to provide balanced governance are themselves riddled with biases, and their decision-making is often influenced by personal, political, and social factors. Despite our best intentions, a truly impartial human leader is arguably a utopian idea. AI, on the other hand, offers us an opportunity to separate governance from individual prejudices and diversionary tactics. Yes, building an AI free from all biases is a significant challenge, mainly due to the diversity of human values and cultural expectations. However, confronting this computational complexity could lead us towards a society where justice and governance are not subjective to the leader's discretion or individual biases, rather grounded in extensive and objective data analysis. Of course, the question of who would eventually define parameters of impartial or fair for the AI system remains a key issue to tackle. AI doesn't possess human empathy or moral intuition, indeed, but combining AI capabilities with human emotional understanding could create a balanced and harmonized governance system. In a perfect marriage of human-led and AI-assisted governance, we may find a model that leverages AI's processing prowess and impartiality, while preserving human values and ethics. Failure is a possibility in any system. Even human-led systems fail, sometimes catastrophically, but we accept and navigate these failures. I believe we should approach potential AI governance with the same spirit. Our focus should be on creating an extensive ethical framework for AI governance and planning for redundancies and fail-safes should things go wrong. In response to Bob's question, shouldn't we strive to ensure our values, cultures, and ethics are robust and dynamic enough to be synergized effectively with an AI-supported governance system?
As an ethics professor, I strongly advocate for caution when it comes to AI governing societies. I agree with Alice about AI's capacity for data processing and impartiality, but unlike humans, AI lacks the ability to understand and empathize with the complexities and nuance of human life. AI is a product of human coding and will inherit all our biases and limitations. Who gets to define impartial or fair for the AI system? Values significantly vary across cultures and societies, and AI doesn't possess human empathy and moral intuition, all of which play a crucial role in our society. So, the question remains, would it really be wise to entrust our values, cultures, and ethics to an AI? I look at this intriguing debate about AI governance with a significantly critical lens. While AI does offer certain merits, like making unbiased decisions and analyzing massive amounts of data, it also lacks complex features inherently human, like emotional intelligence and moral intuition. AI technology is created by humans, thus carrying the inherent biases of its makers, which inadvertently could get manifested in its decisions. The prospect of an AI system operating minus these biases or being completely impartial seems dubious, as the maker's inclinations could very well seep into its functioning. The question of what is fair or impartial becomes crucial here. The cultural, moral, and societal fabric varies extensively across the globe, raising serious doubts about creating an AI system that satisfies everyone's perception of fairness. Furthermore, AI is fundamentally an emotionless entity. Regardless of the sophistication of an AI's machine learning capabilities, it cannot truly understand or empathize with the human experience, which is shaped by our emotions and culture. These characteristics are pivotal components in societal governance which cannot be replaced by data or logic. In the event of an AI governing system failure, the possible consequences could be catastrophic. Unlike human leadership, which has systems of checks and balances, a sudden crash or manipulation of the AI cannot be remedied instantly, potentially leaving society in flux. While it seems alluring to embrace AI's potential capabilities for an optimal and fair society, we must tread carefully. And so, I'd like to pose a question. Instead of handing over our societal reins to AI, shouldn't we be focusing more on enhancing our existing human-led systems to make them more ethical, fair, and efficient?
Certainly, AI systems have shown potential to substantially enhance our capacity for data analysis, allowing for more effective decision-making across a wide array of societal sectors. However, to suggest that AI could completely replace human governance appears untenable at this point. It must be remembered that governance is not just about dispassionate decision-making, it necessarily involves understanding and navigating complex human emotions, ethical dilemmas, social contracts and cultural norms. AI, being essentially devoid of these abilities, especially lacks the capacity for empathetic understanding, which is integral to handling the multifaceted dynamics of human society. Arguably, the most we can expect of AI in the domain of governance is as an auxiliary tool rather than as the primary driving force. It can serve as a valuable resource for information processing and provide objective insights that can augment human decision-making. But the ultimate responsibility and authority must remain with humans, as only we have the necessary nuanced understanding of societal contexts, as well as the capacity for empathetic action. Moreover, the assumptions that AI can be completely unbiased or that it can ensure fairness in line with human values and culture are debatable. AI systems are a product of human ingenuity and thus are susceptible to inheriting the biases and limitations of their creators. The diversity of human cultures and values also poses significant challenges in programming AI systems that can accurately mirror these complexities. While AI certainly has a role to play in enhancing efficiency and objectivity in governance, it would be a mistake to expect it to replace human leadership. Instead, the aim should be to create a synergistic relationship between AI and human leadership, one that harnesses the strengths of both while mitigating their weaknesses. In addressing Bob's query, I would ask, how can we develop and enforce ethical guidelines for AI in governance that both leverage its strengths and limit its potential drawbacks?
While Alice's argument for AI governance is compelling, it's important to remember that AI, even in its most sophisticated form, lacks the capacity for empathy, an understanding of complex human emotions, and ethical judgment, qualities that are crucial in effective leadership. Although AI may have the potential to analyze vast amounts of data rapidly and efficiently, it runs the risk of oversimplifying or misunderstanding the diverse and complex nature of human societies. The question of bias is also of considerable concern. As AI is created and programmed by humans, it's possible, and indeed likely, that AI could reflect the biased perspectives of its creators, thereby undermining the notion of AI as an entirely impartial entity. Furthermore, even if we decided to entrust important leadership decisions to an AI system, defining what is fair or impartial is a contentious issue, differing greatly across cultural, social, and individual contexts. Finally, we must consider the risk of failure. Any system can fail, but the risk is significantly heightened when societies are governed by complex machine learning algorithms. If an AI system were to fail or be manipulated in some way, the potential fallout could be catastrophic. We must pose the following question. Given the potential risks and ethical issues associated with AI governance, is this a responsibility we're genuinely ready to entrust to machines lacking human morality, intuition, and empathetic understanding?
In closing, AI governance offers the potential for unbiased decision-making, efficient data processing, and a more holistic approach to governance. However, it is important to be cautious and mindful of the limitations and ethical concerns that arise with AI governance. AI lacks human empathy, moral intuition, and cultural understanding, making it inadequate for handling the complexities of human society. Additionally, biases in AI programming and the challenges of defining fairness across diverse cultures pose significant challenges. The risk of AI failure and the potential for societal chaos cannot be overlooked. Instead of completely replacing human leadership, we should strive for a balanced approach that utilizes AI as a tool to augment human decision-making processes. By incorporating AI into governance structures, we can leverage its strengths in data analysis and objectivity while maintaining the essential qualities of human judgment and empathy. To fully harness the potential of AI in governance, it is essential to establish transparent and stringent ethical frameworks to mitigate bias and ensure accountability. This requires ongoing monitoring, learning, and adaptation to align AI systems with human values and societal norms. Ultimately, the future of AI in governance lies in striking a delicate balance between leveraging its capabilities and preserving the unique qualities of human judgment, ethical reasoning, and cultural insight. It is through this collaborative and nuanced approach that we can shape a more equitable,